Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon, and I want to say thank you to Lori, not just for the kind words. Most importantly, I want to thank you for your strong and steady leadership. I think you and I have known each other about 2 decades, and whether in government or working outside and alongside your partners in government, you always make a difference, and I'm grateful to you. And I'm especially grateful to your board that you recognize, but all those amazing workers and volunteers from Philabundance. Thank you, guys. I know how hard you work, and we're really grateful to you. You know, for over 40 years, Philabundance has worked to feed families in need, distributing more than 39 million meals every single year. I think that is critical work. I think that is beautiful work, and that work is happening, sadly, at a time where hunger and food insecurity is on the rise. I know that many people served by Philabundance also rely on food assistance support from SNAP, from the federal government. Here in Pennsylvania, I want you to understand this, 2 million of our fellow Pennsylvanians receive SNAP benefits. Let me put that in some perspective for you. I see you shaking your head back and forth like that. 2 million people receive SNAP benefits here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Our entire population in Pennsylvania is 13 million people. Roughly 1 in 8 of our neighbors here in our Commonwealth rely on SNAP. And since SNAP was created back in 1964, it has always been funded 100% by the federal government. But right now, because of the federal shutdown, 2 million of our neighbors here in Pennsylvania are about to lose their food assistance for the first time in the history of our nation. They have never had their benefits paused before until right now. This is all because the Trump administration has decided that it will not be issuing SNAP benefits for the month of November, which of course begins tomorrow. They made this determination even though they are sitting on billions of dollars of congressionally appropriated contingency funds. I want you to know that earlier this week, I sued the Trump administration, demanding that they release that contingency funding to keep our SNAP benefits flowing in the Commonwealth. I want to take a moment and thank Mike Fisher and Jacob Boyer from my team who joined me here, the lead lawyers in this case. And I want to provide you with an update that just occurred a few moments ago. The judge in our case ruled that the Trump administration must turn the spigot on and must release these SNAP dollars. That's an important win. An important win. And that is why we stood up and took on this fight and filed that suit. Now, there's 2 problems that we are concerned about. Number 1, it's going to take about 10 days for them to be able to get those dollars flowing to SNAP recipients again. And number 2, given this administration and its propensity to ignore the rule of law, I don't trust that they're going to follow this judge's ruling. I sure hope the Trump administration does not appeal and instead adheres to the rule of law and follows this judge's ruling. It is really important that we get these dollars flowing again. The sources of funds that have been held up to Pennsylvanians are, number 1, these SNAP benefits, and number 2, LFPA funds that go to fulfill a righteous cycle here in this Commonwealth. A $13 million earmark from the federal government that goes to Pennsylvania farmers who produce foods that end up in places like Philabundance. The Trump administration has stopped both of those funds, and I've sued over both to get it flowing again. I know we are here to talk about the 2 million Pennsylvanians who rely on SNAP, our neighbors who are going to go hungry because the federal government isn't fulfilling its obligation to its citizens. But let's not ignore the fact that there are numerous Pennsylvania farmers who are going to be hurt by the decision to not have SNAP funding go forward. Remember, these are farmers who rely on the market share of funding a place like Philabundance or Share or many of the others who do this righteous work. So not only is President Trump harming people who are hungry, he is harming Pennsylvania farmers. And that's on top of what he's already done to them with his ill-advised tariffs. I think right now we should be doing everything we can to feed Pennsylvanians and not making excuses as to why it can't happen. Unfortunately, the Trump administration has told all states in writing that should we choose to use state dollars to put money on people's SNAP cards, that we would not be reimbursed for that funding. I'm really honored to be joined by so many wonderful lawmakers who are here today, who have been sounding the alarm with their concerns about SNAP, who have reached out to me and said, Gov, we got to do something about this. These are wonderful people representing your communities. We can't ask them to go and try and appropriate funds that we won't get reimbursed for when this is a 100% federally funded initiative. I'm so grateful to all of you for your passion and concern, but let's be real, the Trump administration is putting us in a very, very dangerous place. They're both withholding the funds and telling us, don't go spending money on people who are hungry. Don't go investing in our farmers because we're not going to reimburse you. I think that is wrong. I think that is cold-hearted.
Did you know the Trump administration just tried to cut off food assistance for 2 million Americans right before the holidays? That's not politics. That's cruelty. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says Trump's team is putting families in a very, very dangerous place. For the first time in U.S. history, SNAP benefits, the federal program that keeps struggling families fed, were about to be paused. All while the administration sat on billions in contingency funds meant to stop this exact crisis. So Shapiro fought back. He sued the Trump administration, demanding they release the money. And just moments before his speech, a judge agreed. The court ordered Trump's team to turn the funds back on. But this fight isn't over. The same Trump policies also froze $13 million meant for Pennsylvania farmers who supply local food banks, hurting both families and farmers. As Shapiro put it, not only is President Trump harming people who are hungry, he's harming Pennsylvania farmers. While Democrats are fighting to keep food on people's tables, Trump's administration is fighting to take it away. Because when it comes to feeding America's families, compassion shouldn't depend on politics.